Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot. Bit of a strange one. You've got a little bit of a bonus today. I'm in the middle of cleaning and my house is upside down, curtains down and everything. And Spirit said that I had to come and do a reading. So please excuse me. I'm in my old clothes and like I say, I've got to do what Spirit say because otherwise they make my life pretty hard. Um, they said to use yeah, on this week's video, I used the Colette Baron read cards, and I said I use these to read for myself, and they're great. They really, really are. There was an issue that happened last night, which I will talk about, in this. But I really feel that this message needs to be said. So I'll get straight onto it. I'll try and be as quick as I can so that this doesn't end up in a really long drawn one, but whatever they've got to give me, then it will have to come out. Okay, so please bear with me. And can I just say before I start, thank you to everybody who sent me messages about the weekly readings, saying that you really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed doing it. I think it's a really good way to work from now on. I am busy the next couple of weeks, but from October, I think I will be able to do a short daily as well, because I know some people have been saying that they've missed them. So, I've actually missed doing them as well, but I will be able to do that. But that's from October. It won't be for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so it'll just be the weeklies up until then. So, right, okay, back to today and see what's there. There's quite a strong message coming through with this. So please just, as I always say, don't shoot the messenger. So, right, okay, we've got the Colette Baron read cards, and these are from one of her decks called the Wisdom of the Oracle, and all of her decks are beautiful, but I particularly like these. So the first card that we have here it's called All That Glitters, and it's absolutely, it's a beautiful image, these cards are really, really lovely imagery. But what this card is saying is that what looks good on the surface, may not be glitter inside. So, a lot of times we have this in the Seven of Cups a lot, where there's a lot of, things could be gilt rather than gold. And if we have a look at this card, there's a couple of masks on there as well. And what this is saying is that often within life, we tend to wear masks, so that we don't show who we truly are, and we wear these masks because if we have these masks on, we feel that we need to be a certain way in order to be accepted, in order to be admired, or in order to be seen as important, I mean, this card is massively evident in society today. Everybody wants a bigger car, they want a bigger house, they want the glamour. I mean, if we have a look at the likes of the Kardashians, look at how all of these programs are, they're pretty false, but people are drawn into them and people aspire to be like these people. What this card as well, whenever this comes in, I always sort of look at it and it's like, these people that, people admire and want to be seen like, and, try to mold themselves around. What you need to look at is like, would they still be seen as beautiful if the words that they spoke appeared on their skin? And I really feel this is something that we all need to look at as well, because, there's some people can be, there's a situation I know about, and, I can't say names or anything like that, but there's, on the outside, aesthetically really pleasing. But on the inside, there's a lot of ugliness, because the words that somebody speaks, that defines whether they're beautiful or not, so it doesn't matter, what their hair's like, what their face is like, what clothes they have on, what car they drive. It's about who they are, and this is why they always say, like, if you go on a date with somebody, see how they treat the waiter, because if they're nice to the waiter, then, they're genuinely a nice person. If they're not, then you need to have alarm bells ringing there as well. And it's like, people say to me a lot, like, oh, Tanya, just live in the real world, and I'm like, that is, to me, it's like the most fake place on earth, there's so much, I don't know, so much inauthenticity, and it's very, very sad when you see this. So with this card, what this is saying is, whether this is people around you, whether this is a situation or whatever, it's saying, ask yourself, does it have substance? If you took the shiny facade away, would it still be what it claims to be? So this is like, does it have substance? Is it true? And are you being authentically you when you are around these people, or you are in this situation? So that's a massive, massive trigger as to, can you truly be yourself in this situation? I mean, like I say, I just don't do fake. I think I have like an allergy to fake or something, and honesty, realness, that is what I see as substance. I have, I have friends who are quite high profile. I also have friends who are homeless. But the thing is, it's not what they have or what they do. It's actually who they are inside. And, high profile friends, they're no different to my friends who are struggling at the moment. And it's because of their essence. It's who they are. I often get things channeled when I first wake up on a morning, and there was a while ago, there was something that I wrote, and it was, I can't understand some people's existence. The Walking Dead. I need passion, excitement, pain, and depth. People who allow their thoughts, people with a spark, because even if it's madness, it shows that they are breaking away from the rest. People that show their soul and their scars in unison. They are unguarded and raw, and most importantly, honest. How can you expect someone to be truthful to you when they are lying to themselves? And this is what that sums this card up so much. So this is saying something that might look good on the surface, really peer more closely into it, and see, does this actually go right down to the core? So that is the first message. So again, I really feel this is all geared towards authenticity and realness. That's been a common theme within the cards lately. So now what we have here, we have a deep knowing, but this is, Colette Baron Reid doesn't call them reversed. She says they're in a protection position. So when it's a protection position, what this is sort of a bit of a warning. It's giving us a warning about something. So what this is saying, this card, when this comes in, a deep knowing, this is saying that you could be in sort of empathic overload in some way, and you need to get grounded again. So this is telling you to tune out for a bit, because the energies we've had with the eclipse and everything like that, it's really got us in heightened states. And anything, when there's too much of anything, it can be as dangerous as having too little. So this is saying, there may be like a bit of psychic exhaustion. There's been so many messages coming through lately, and everything's just getting all jumbled, and you need to take time to just say, whoa, I'm just going to pull back, and I'm going to recharge my batteries. So you really need to set up like energetic boundaries here. Sorry. Take salt baths. Salt baths are brilliant. I think my baths lately have had more salt in them than what the Dead Sea has. I've literally, the water's nigh on being solid in them. So this is telling you, take salt baths, and empty your mind. If anybody has white sage, burn white sage, burn Palo Santo. There's, Aqua de Florida, is great for cleansing. So, but this is telling you that you need to get back to you. And you sort of like, this is a time of self-love and a time of self-care as well. And what you need to do with this is, anything that is coming up at the moment that is either making you race too much, making your mind race too much, right? Or anything that is dragging you down, this is a time to just say, no, thank you. I do not want that, So anything that is exhausting to you in your life. Now, this is when I said I'm going to mention something from last night. It's been so long since I've actually sat and practiced Kundalini yoga. I've done my normal meditations, but life has got really in the way lately, and I haven't done it. So last night I actually I found a video on here on YouTube, and what I'll do, I will put the link in my description underneath so that you can watch it. And it's a class by Gabrielle Bernstein, and it's a full Kundalini class. It's absolutely fabulous. Please, if you do get the chance to watch it, watch it. You know, it explains a lot about Kundalini yoga, and there is a few meditations in it last night. There is a few meditations in it. So last night I sat down to do my practice. You know, I was enjoying it. I was a lot of things. It was refreshing. It was like, it was making me remember things again. There's a very strong, very powerful meditation towards the end of it. And it involves a lot of shaking and everything like that. It's a little bit crazy. I think I'd done that, and it's probably the first time in about 3-4 months that I've done that meditation. And I literally let go. I could not believe how much I cried during the meditation. The tears came, my breathing, everything. It was absolutely bizarre. And the reason I was crying was not because I was letting things go. It was because I was fully connected. I felt the love from spirit. I felt the love, the feeling that I get from Kundalini yoga. And I realized how much I had detoured from being me, you know. With that meditation, I came back home to me, to the completely authentic me, you know, the person where I know what's going on, where I trust, where I serve, you know, the whole lot. And the tears were absolutely relief, because I realized how much I had gone off course, you know, and this is through external circumstances, through my own thinking and everything like that. And it was like, that is not who I want to be. That is not me, you know. So I came back home to me. I came back home, and that was it. It was such a, sorry for going on, but it was just such an amazing feeling. My daughter even said afterwards, she said, "Mum, I could feel your energy is different." It was like I could feel it coming out of you, you know. So like I say, it was heavy, but it was so worth it. So this card is, like I say, this is about our deep knowing, you know, and we know that's the thing, but it's just bringing us back down to that place where everything external just doesn't matter at all, and it's about us, you know. And this is when we get our freedom. This is when we can hear our soul speak, because our soul speaks through our heart, you know. And this constant dialogue that we have with spirit never ever leaves us. It's us that choose not to listen. So this constant dialogue is guiding us, it's whispering to us, it's blessing us, and it's nudging us in the right direction, you know. And this is what we need to do. My body last night felt so light. There was no tenseness. I let everything go in it. So really listen to your body here as well, because your body gives you clear signs, you know, especially when you're having to make choices and decisions. So it's like breathing in deeply, bringing yourself into the moment, and then looking inward as well, you know. And it's like, how does this feel? You know, is there anywhere in your body that feels tight, you know, or are you sitting there with grace and sitting there with ease, you know? And ask yourself, have you spoken your truth? If you have, you will be feeling empowered. If you haven't, you will be feeling compromised, you know, and you always know what the truth is, you know. So this is, learn to listen to your body, and learn to listen to your truth as well, and learn to take action on this guidance. So that is that card, quite a heavy one. The dog, sorry, my dogs, I don't know if spirit are here as well. My dog's going absolutely crackers. He usually does this when spirit are coming through. Hendrix, yeah. So the next card, sorry about that. Right, be good. Right. So with this card, so sorry, shush. With this card, right, this card is the here and now. And this is also in the protection position. Now, this is a card of, like, the first thing I got when I seen this was coulda, woulda, shoulda. And what this is saying is, when we have these thoughts of, I could have done that, or I should have done that, or, you know, all of this, what we do then is we are giving away our power. We are saying that we've done something wrong, you know. So what this card is saying, if we have a look, there's the past, there's the future. I have a little tattoo on my wrist that it translates. I got it done in Thailand, and it says, don't worry about the past, you can't change it. Don't worry about the future, you can't predict it. Live for today. And this is exactly what this card is saying, because when we get lost in the past, you know, we are driven by nostalgia. When we get lost in the future, we're driven by ambition, you know. And this can make us get lost, in a place where there is no substance. These readings are all about substance and all about truth. So it's today what matters. What's that song? What have you done today? And this is what you need to do. So whenever we leave our present, like I've said, which I've obviously I didn't realize how much I'd left it. You leave your present, you are disconnecting. When you focus on the now, this is when miracles happen. Last night I witnessed a miracle. I was part of a miracle. I realized that I went back to love, and the fear disappeared, and the feeling that I got within me was I can't even put into words with it. So this is what this card is saying. It's about being in the now, being connected, being in the now, and waiting for the miracles to happen, because this is when spirit will speak to us, when we are present. If we aren't showing up, it's like being at school. If you don't show up to class, you are not going to learn. And if we don't show up, and if we don't show up to spirit, we are never going to learn. So the lessons and everything they're trying to tell us will be futile, and we will carry on without growth, and we will carry on in a stagnation. So right, okay, sorry. Oh yeah, there's so much coming through. I hope this reading actually makes sense. So the next card we have is Observer here. And what this is saying is that it's a time when you really need to distance yourself, I feel. And this will help you to gain perspective and understanding of certain circumstances, but with a more neutral vantage point. When we are in it, it's often very hard to see it, because we're emotionally caught up in things, and we're in the center of it. When we disconnect and when we pull away, this is when we can see it for what it really is. I mean, if we have a look there, he's looking through a telescope there, and this is one of the times in your life when you need to do some exploring. You need to stand back. You need to look at everything that's going on, look without personalize here, and see things as they really are, not how you would like them to be. Be truthful to yourself as well, and allow yourself to see things without blinkers being on as well. If this is regarding people will let you know who they are rather than what they tell you. A lot of people will tell you who they are. They are just words. Their actions will show you who they are. And this often comes in a lot of times with when people, oh yeah, but I love you. I mean, I hate the word now. It's thrown about with a lot of people. It's something I can never say it unless I mean it. I do say it a lot because I do love a lot of people, but I cannot say it without meaning it, and it is very, very flippant. But the thing is, with the word love is a verb. It is not a noun. So love is an action word. Love is a doing word. A noun is a naming word. It's a word. It means nothing. And words can be very cheap when they're not followed through by their actions. I mean, if we look at politicians, what's going on in England and America at the moment, everybody's saying, all these politicians are saying what they think you want to hear, but what they are actually doing is they are trying to take power from this situation, and they are trying to do this to help themselves. A lot of times people will say, I love you, because they're feeling a little bit insecure. So they want that to be said back. So they aren't giving that from a place of love, So this is saying, take a step back from any situations at the moment and see them how they really are, not how you would like them to be. The reason I mentioned love there is because the next card is soulmate. And again, this is in the protection position. Okay. So what this does when it comes in like this is this talks about a relationship that will actually bring you to your knees. It will crack you wide open. That's what happened to me during that meditation last night. I was cracked right open. I was broken open, but that is when I could be released, and this talks about a relationship that will bring you to your knees here as well. And it's something that you cannot hide from. And it's like, you can't hide it from yourself neither. So what this will do is this will show you like your old stories that, that don't don't serve you well, you know? And this is making you see them. It's forcing you to address them so that you can actually heal. Like I say, you know, spirit always bring things to the surface in order for them to heal. And this person, you know, this relationship that this is talking about, it can make you feel uncomfortable, you know, it can make you squirm. It can be like, you know, oh God, what is this doing to me? But what you need to do is see this is such a sacred gift. This is such a blessing as well, because this is forcing you to look in the mirror, and it is saying to you, like, do you really like what you see? You know, if you watch this video where I talked about that I've mentioned this Gabrielle Bernstein, that I'm going to put the link on, you know, she talks about that the other person is you. So, you know, when we see somebody who we admire or whatever, we have them qualities. But we also, when we see somebody who, you know, we don't like how they go on or anything like that, we have them qualities as well, you know. So what this is doing, what this card is saying to you is, you know, like, yes, this person has came into your life to break you open and to make you see things exactly as they are. Like I say, like the observer there, you know, and it will bring you to your knees, and it will probably be uncomfortable, but it is one of the biggest gifts you will get within your life. What this reminded me of when this came out, there's a great poem I love, you probably know by now, I love words, I love poems, you know, and there's a great one, I don't know who wrote it, but it's called Don't Date a Mystic. And it says, don't date a mystic if you want the life you have. If you are comfortable and cozy, stay away. Whatever you have built around yourself to create comfort, it cannot stand in the blazing fire of a mystical woman. She is no trophy. She is no body pleasure maker. She is the seer of souls. She is the womb that births the divine into flesh and bone and matter. She doesn't mean to burn your village to the ground, but she has seen what you are meant to become. You are not a peasant shearing sheep as you have thought. You are a king dressed in rags who has an amnesia. It is her assumption that you have come to be reborn. If you haven't, turn back now while the world you know still exists. If your dreams are not filled with the mystery, you are better off with a normal girl, because a mystic will see things that are invisible to you. She will feel things that you cannot feel beneath the layers of numbness you have wrapped yourself in. She will call upon your true self, your real soul, and she will sing it down unto you, into herself, and life will never be the same. And this is what happens when we meet these special people in our lives. There was a guy I met about 8 years ago who was a dear friend of mine. And one day he sent me a book, and he said to me about 6 years ago, and he said, you need to read this book. And I opened this book, and this book was so painful to read. It was so painful. It basically, it showed me myself and showed me a lot of my like sort of shortfalls, you know. And I phoned him and I said, I'm either going to like be forever indebted to you, or I'm going to hate you for the rest of my life. And thankfully I was forever indebted. But it really, that book made me understand healthy boundaries, and you know, where I hadn't had healthy boundaries before, and where that had been very detrimental to me and how I live my life. So, you know, absolutely fantastic book called Woman Who Loved Too Much. If anybody's interested in that, it's a great book. But you know, but my friend David, he that book broke me open, you know, so I'm always forever indebted to him because of that. So then what the next card that we have here is a loyal heart. And this is saying that what we need to remember is that spirit is loyal to each and every single one of us, you know. They are always there. Spirit never desert us. You know, I know some people go, oh, you know, they couldn't be bringing me this if spirit loved me, whatever. They never desert us, you know, but they do push us. You know, they're like that school teacher who believes in us that much that they want us to do it, and they want us to be our best, you know. So what you have to do here is you first have to believe it, you know. You don't have to wait to see it. Look beyond everything that is happening at the moment, you know, and act in faith, but also trust as well, and know that you are enough. A lot of times within life, external situations can actually make us doubt ourselves or doubt our abilities or doubt our brilliance, and what this is saying is, no, spirit sees you as the brilliant person you are. Yes, you may have flaws, but we all do, and if we have a look at people in our lives, look at people in our lives where there is a loyalty, because there is people there, and people will prove that they are faithful to you, and, in turn, what you need to ask is, are you being faithful to them? Are you loyal to these people that are giving you this loyalty? This is about, like, loyalty comes hand in hand with truth. And when loyalty and truth are there, what they then form is respect. Respect is only, like, you only get respect when you are given it. People are only loyal and people are only truthful for you when you are doing that as well. So, what you need to look at here is, who is truthful in your life, who is loyal, and who has the utmost respect for you, and are you giving the same back? Because when somebody is loyal and believes in you, their faith in you will never waver. I have a beautiful, one of my closest friends, and she is the most truthful, honest person I have ever met. She is, sometimes very, very bluntly, but I know that this girl has my best interests at heart all of the time, and she doesn't tell me what I want to hear. She tells me what I need to know, and she does it. There's a compassion there with it, and she is the first person I phone whenever I need proper advice, because I know it might not be what I want to hear, but it will be what I need to hear, and it will be the truth. She lives from her truth. She is the most authentic person that I have ever met, and I am, I massively, massively admire that, and hope, that I sort of come across in the same way as well, and like I say, I say the universe has your back, the universe always has our backs, but look at the people who are there who also have your back as well, because that's coming in really strongly. And finally, there was one came out which I think sums up this whole reading as well, and this is called the Fates. Now, what Colette Baron Reid puts with this card is the Serenity Prayer. And the Serenity Prayer, for those that don't know it, is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that is such a beautiful, beautiful prayer, because we can spend so much energy on trying to make things how we would like them to be, but we are not always in control. And once we admit this to ourselves, this is when we can stop struggling. This is when we surrender. And this is what the theme of, especially this month, has been, to surrender. We can stop swimming upstream, and this is when we decide to do it, this is when we go back to who we are, and what this card is saying is that this card, when we use the Serenity Prayer, and when we say that, so it's like, accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can. So what you need to do when this card comes up is, you need to decide. There could be a person, a situation, or whatever, and you need to decide, is this going to continue being part of your life, or are you deciding to actually move on? Does this bring enough to your life for you to actually allow it still to be there? Or does it sort of set your life off course so that you need to actually let it go, Because we can only control our actions, this is it, and we can only control our reactions as well, and this is our own reality. We can't take responsibility for anybody else, and we can't take, a lot of times when you're spiritual, it's like, we can't take responsibility for the whole world neither, and every other person in it, because everybody is responsible for themselves. All we can do is we can design our own life, and we can have that life, the way we want it to be. And most people like a peaceful life, a drama-free life, and living authentically. So this is where there's a decision needs to come in, because this card is saying that, like, there needs to be at the moment, I feel there's a lot of chaos going on, you know, and this is saying what needs to change in order to create harmony, peace, joy, and love back in your life. You know, is it your perception? Is it sort of the way you're looking at things that needs to change? Is it your own attitude? Or is it sort of external situations within your life that would, you know, that would, by getting rid of them, that would actually bring this peace, joy, and love back in, you know? So this is what you need to do. It's like, you know, are you, what are you prepared to take with you? What are you prepared to let go of, you know? Because this card is saying that, like, you know, the universe has given us signs here. You know, whenever fate intervenes, it gives you a sign, you know, and it's saying that you're, you know, are you going to follow the path that you are being guided to, or are you going to stay where you are? You know, so this is sort of a bit like, you know, the Clash song, like, should I stay, should I go, or whatever. And this is saying, you know, what does your heart say? These messages really, they're really talking to me. I'm sorry for that, you know, but there's a lot when it's coming through here. It's like, I'm like, all right, okay, light bulb moment. So this is saying, you know, what does your heart say? Fate intervenes in our lives, right? Okay, this is the thing with fate. Fate intervenes in our lives when we need to evolve, when there is changes need to be made, you know, and when we are, right, okay, we're ready for the next growth spurt. This is when fate intervenes, you know, and this is when it will try to turn us into who we are meant to be. Okay. And this comes through a lot with, there's a lot of synchronicity, there's a lot of serendipity as well comes through with this, you know. So this is what this is talking. Fate is presenting you on a plate with things, but it cannot force you to take them, and it cannot force you to sort of, you know, it kind of force your hand in any way, you know. But it's this is saying, you know, the universe does have your back. The universe wants you to evolve. You know, all of these cards have been about stripping away all of the guilt, stripping away all of the false structures, stripping away this need to be important, this need to be seen as something other than what you really are, you know. And this is what is massively detrimental to our soul. So I really feel the message within these cards today, with all of them. I mean, like I say, it was totally impromptu. I wasn't expecting to do this at all. But I think the message within this is that, like, you know, to respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that A, no longer serves you, B, no longer makes you grow, or C, no longer makes you happy, you know. And I think we all have situations within our life, you know, where, you know, that they're not serving us any longer. We're not evolving, you know, and we're not feeling happy. And happiness is, you know, people search for happiness. Happiness is inside of us, you know, and when we remove the external circumstances and we go back home, like I say, within this Kundalini meditation last night, we go back home to the true us, to our truth, where we feel the love, where we feel connected to spirit, you know, and where we know we are loved. We know we are nurtured, and we know we are being guided in the right direction. You know, this is when we will find happiness within ourselves, and not through external circumstances or people. And you know, this is, like I say, you know, a big slap in the face, I think, really, you know. And it's just it's letting go, letting go here, letting go of any expectations, letting go of anything that is not serving your highest good at the moment, you know. And yet there's a sadness with that, you know. And like I say, I'm feeling it as well, you know. It's very strange. This is what the eclipses were all about, you know. They were the wake up, shake up, break up eclipses. And this no, sorry, Hendrix wants to get in it there. You know, so yeah, I think this is exactly what it's done. I know within my life it massively has. And like I say, I know now, you know, what it is I need to do, and that is just by going back home to center, and you know, speaking to my true authentic self, and allowing spirit to talk to me properly. Okay, so I hope you like that. I will put a link to the video, the Kundalini yoga video. It's brilliant. It's about an hour long, so take time to do it. don't think you look silly if you do the Kundalini meditations, because the what you get at the end of it is so worth it. You know, you might look a bit mad, but oh God, honestly, your vibration and everything is unbelievable. You know, once you've finished it. I'm going to go and sort Hendrix out. He seems very vocal today as well. You know, so little impromptu one. I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think, and please let me know if it made sense as well, because there was just a lot coming through there. And like I say, I don't know if I just rambled on, but you know, when I'm told to do something by spirit, I've got to do it. Okay, so have a lovely week, and I'll be back with the cards for next week towards the end of the week. Okay, Satnam.